Hey, mathematicians, welcome to our hot topics on time. This week, we are going to be talking about how to tell time and some tricks and tips. So, one thing you need to know, and my clock is very handy. Some clocks have each minute listed, some just have tick marks, some don't even have these little dots between the hours or the minutes. They don't have anything. They may not have anything listed. They may just have the hours. So one thing that you need to know is that for every one revolution around the clock that the minute hand makes, the hour hand is only going to move 1/12. So it's going to move from one big number to the next. So this blue hand goes around again, then it is going to, the hour hand will be at 2 o'clock. So the big hand, the long hand, is the minute hand, and the hour hand is the short one. So as we move this around, we notice that there are 12 big numbers. So these are our hours: 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That, whatever the red is pointing to, is what hour it is. So sometimes when you look at the clock, you'll see that the minute hand or the hour hand is between two numbers. So is it 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock? Well, the reason why is because it has to travel from here to here over the course of an hour. So it moves slowly. It doesn't just move all at once. And when it's in between, you always look at the one it was at before. So here it's not at the 2 yet. Even here, when we're almost at 2 o'clock, it's not quite at the 2. So we look at the one that it was most recently at. And here, this hour hand was most recently at the 1, so it would be 1 o'clock and some number of minutes. Now, like I said, minutes are a little bit different because for each number, each big number, that's 5 minutes. So you could count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So if my clock is here, the hour is 1 because we haven't gotten to the 2 yet. We're still in the first hour. And then our minutes are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 1 hour and 30 minutes. So 1:30. Now, we may end up in a situation like this or this where we aren't at an increment of 5 minutes. Well, that's what these little dots are because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then to the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of these dots corresponds to a minute. So when we're thinking here, we can count by fives. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then count by ones. 31, 32, 33, 34. So this would be 1:34. So as you're looking at this, it's 1:34. Now, AM or PM, AM is anything before 12 noon, and PM is anything after 12 noon and before 12 a.m. or midnight. So, as we're thinking of this time and clocks and how to tell time, we have to look at where the hour hand is and where the minute hand is. So the hour hand here is the red one, and it has not reached 12 yet, so we know it's still 11 o'clock. But the minute hand is at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Well, not quite 50. So 46, 47, 48, 49. So this would be 11:49. So it's important that you're looking to see, okay, have we reached the increment of 5? And understanding that each one of these little dots is 1 minute, and each big one is 5 minutes from the next. The minute hand moves 1 full revolution all the way around the clock each hour, and the little hand, the hour hand, moves from one big number to the next. So now we also want to talk about elapsed time. Elapsed time is time that is past or going from one time to another. So as we're thinking of elapsed time, we might start out here, and I think, give me 1 second, I gotta find it. Yes, there we go. So when we're looking at elapsed time, we're wondering, okay, right now it's 12 o'clock. What time will it be in 1 hour and 35 minutes? So we're going to say, okay, what time will it be? So we need to add some time. So we need to go 1 hour. So from 12 o'clock, 1 hour is 1 o'clock, and then 35 minutes. So 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So we moved 1 hour and 35 minutes. Now we can absolutely add those times. So if we started at 12 o'clock and we added an hour and 35 minutes, okay, we can just straight add. 0 plus 0 is 5, 0 plus 5 is 5, 0 plus 3 is 3, and then 12 plus 1 is 13. Now, we don't typically, unless you're using military time, use 13s in our numbers, in our times. So after 12 o'clock, the next one is 1 o'clock. So this would actually not be 13:35, it would just be 1:35. Okay, now also we may run into a situation where when we're adding our time, let's say we had, this time was not 12 o'clock, but it was, let's say 12:40. Okay, so that's going to change this because you may not think we need to regroup, but we do. Because when we deal with time, we no longer have 10 in our tens place, or we no longer can have 100 in our tens place. We can only have 60 because there's only 60 minutes in 1 hour. So when I'm adding here, 0 plus 5 is still 5, but 40 plus 30 is 70, but we can't have a 7 here because that's more than the number of minutes we can have in an hour. So we have to regroup. There's 60 minutes in 1 hour, so 70 minus 60 is 10, so that leaves us with 10 minutes and 1 hour. So we need to regroup there. Now 1 hour plus 12 plus 1, so 2 hours plus 12, so 2 hours after 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So that's going to be 2:15. So we can only have 60 minutes in 1 hour. So this is important to note that this place value can only have 60 minutes there. If we go to 70 or 80 or 90, or maybe even 110, then we're going to have to regroup there. And every 60 minutes is 1 hour. The other thing that's important to note is that when you are doing elapsed time, or when you're thinking about time, the clock doesn't move from 12 o'clock to 13 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock back to 1 o'clock. All right. And if we are going backwards, we are subtracting time. We said we are at 3 o'clock and we moved, wondered what time it was 4 hours ago. Say 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So use your clock and think, okay, if I'm going back 1 hour, 1, 2, 3, and then how many minutes? 5, 10, sorry, going the wrong way. So 5, 10, 15. So thinking of your time is difficult at times and can be a little bit tricky. You have to remember when you're adding or subtracting time that there's only 60 minutes in 1 hour, or that tens place there. All right, you guys are going to practice telling some time and then practice using elapsed time today. And you guys are awesome. You guys are going to rock it out of this world.